this video is basically for the upper quarter, or I'm gonna do the whole upper body, both sides. When I think about, basically, gotta stabilize through my hips, my core, my glutes, my core, my scapular muscles, so butts, guts, scaps. Sure I got my weight supported, so I have a good solid foundation. I can do this with both arms, I can do it with one. I can focus more on the shoulder, I can focus on the elbow, I can focus on the wrist, or I can do all three, or I can mix and match elbow, wrist, shoulder, elbow, wrist. So I can do a lot of different kind of combinations there. Plus, three main positions you're going to think of is palm up, which is more like along the biceps, like curl and raise up like an uppercut. You can do more like a hammering motion, hammer curls, which is going to work the brachioradialis here, okay? And it's going to also work to the anterior deltoid a little more, and scapular muscles there, okay? And then I can go palms down, which I'm generally not going to get as good of a range on because I'm basically locking out my shoulder. I have to use more of my shoulder blade. So for these, if I'm using bilateral, I'm just going to kind of keep a little tension and sit back into my hips and my ribs and keep my chest up. If I go unilateral, I'm going to want to maybe do the shift lift here to reinforce that. If I go across my body, now this is the one where you're going to be the least stable, so you may not want to, definitely not start with this, and you may not even want to do this all that much to begin with, because you're better off maybe doing two hands if you're going to come across your body like that. So I've done other videos where you're holding a medicine ball or a sport ball, where you have your two hands are going to be a lot more stable because that opposite hand is going to be able to give you the support for that. Or you could stack my weights here, coming up like this. So I give a little extra support going across because it's less stable, okay? So again, you can work those, okay? Now, I can also do a little bit of workout, like say I have a tennis elbow or golfer's elbow issue. Tennis elbow, I'm gonna go palm down. I can work here, curl up, so I can kind of work that, and I can do that almost, you think of like throwing a ball like a follow through with the wrist, like a free throw, right? So kind of working there. Now keep in mind, if I twist farther, if I go like into a thumb down, I don't want to do like arm raise with that, but I can definitely kind of maybe twist and work into the stretching of the supinators, and then also the wrist extensors here. So you do a little bit of a twist there. Same thing going this way. You can twist thumb out, palm down, get a little more up into those rotators and things in the shoulder and the chest and the pectorals here even. So I can get a little bit more that way too. So it doesn't have to be straight linear. You can add a little bit of a twist to get a little more stretch. And that's where you might find some additional tightness that might be affecting things. So this is really just to kind of smooth things out. Maybe a good warm up before, if you're gonna play, especially like a racket sport or golf or something where you're gripping. And keeping that in mind too, you don't want to be gripping the whole time you're holding onto the racket or the club. It's mostly at the point of impact that you want to get that good, strong grip, and you don't want to be holding a lot of tension there unnecessarily if you don't need to. You don't want to train those muscles to be tight all the time. You want to train them to be tight when you need them to be, and to work with your other muscles. All the strength power comes from here, not from the wrist and the elbow, okay? So that will just help to kind of smooth some of that out, and then you can integrate and practice in different ways through here. And again, across the body, two hands is best, especially when you're first starting out with that one, because it's a little tough. And then also make sure you're twisting well, anchoring here, a little bit twist from the hips, but a lot of that lift and twist from that chest, really to help out the posture and the stability and not collapse through your upper body where a lot of people do.